Like many Disney princesses, Cinderella's parents were said to have been deceased, and then we learn nothing more. But that doesn't stop us fans from looking further into the story. Knowing who raised the beloved characters who shaped our own childhood is something that I and many other Disney fans find fascinating, which is why we have slowly been provided more information on characters' parents like Cinderella. Hello, I'm Isaac from What's So Videos, where we discuss fun topics for fun people, and today I have compiled everything we know about Cinderella's parents. Let's begin looking into Cinderella's parents by first examining her mother. Like Disney's story, the original tale by Charles Perrault only stated that Cinderella's mother had died. There really has been nothing about her for decades until recently. Although she wasn't pictured in film until 2015 Cinderella, she was depicted in Cinderella's Royal Wedding, which was an animated storybook that I'll link below. In the animated canon, Cinderella's mother has dark hair, violet eyes, and a fair complexion. In contrast, the 2015 mother was reimagined to have blonde hair and brown eyes like Cinderella. All we really know from animated canon is how Cinderella's mother looked, and at one point she owned a pink dress that by the time Cinderella wanted to wear was a little old-fashioned.
Isn't it lovely? It was my mother's.
That dress was the only item other than the estate that could remind Cinderella of her mother, which is why the destruction of it by her stepsisters is so tragic.
You wouldn't oh, God, please stop.
I always knew that Cinderella's dress was her mother's and that it got destroyed, but it kind of just resonated with me that the stepsisters destroyed that item that connected Cinderella with her mother. It's just so heartbreaking. And it only gets worse when you learn more about her in the 2015 version in her first live-action appearance. When she and her husband were alive, her daughter was known by everyone as Ella. Ella's mother loved her family dearly, especially Cinderella, because she had an open-mindedness and kindness that she helped cultivate. She encouraged Ella's belief in extraordinary things, like the animals' belief to understand and communicate with humans, and that fairy godmothers who acted as caretakers of human beings actually existed. Ella's mother helped establish magic in Cinderella's life. She constantly showed her daughter that she loved her, and one of the ways she did this was singing her a lullaby before she went to bed. But this didn't last for long. When Ella was only 10 years old, her mother contracted an illness. Moments from her mother's death, Ella had to promise that she would always have courage and be kind. Her mother insisted that those words would see Ella through anything in her life and asked for her forgiveness for leaving her so early. The small family shared one final hug before Ella's mother passed away. Although Ella's mother died early in the story, the ramifications of her love for her family and her family's love for her were felt throughout the remainder of the story. Ella's father was much changed by the death of his wife, but he assured his daughter her mother would always be with her.
Your mother's here too, though you see her not. She's at the very heart of this place.
Ella's love for her mother and father play into the reason she stays in her abusive situation with her stepfamily, and are also part of the reason her situation is so terrible. When Ella and her father mourn the death of his first wife, Lady Tremaine overhears the entire conversation and was stung by it. She felt she was living underneath the shadow of Ella's mother, and Ella was a constant reminder of that. But through all of the abuse that comes Ella's way, she stays in that place because
I made my mother and father a promise to cherish the place. We were so happy. They loved our house, and now that they're gone, I love it for them.
Ella constantly stays hopeful, even when her mother's gown is ripped to shreds. Because of Ella's constant kindness, that is when her fairy godmother is revealed. And although the fairy godmother insists Ella deserves a new gown, Ella instead states,
Oh no, please don't. This was my mother's, and I'd like to wear it when I go to the palace. It's almost like taking her with me.
Cinderella never wanted to be without her mother, which is why she wore her gown to meet her true love. But she couldn't be with him forever that night. Lady Tremaine attempted to keep Ella hidden from the royals as they searched for the prince's true love, until Cinderella begins to sing the song she was taught by her mother.
We shall be safe till it...
Do you hear that, Your Grace?
Once again, we see the impact of Cinderella's mother on Ella's life and her decisions. By remaining courageous and kind, like her mother taught, Ella's song cut through Lady Tremaine's lies, allowing her to finally reunite with her Prince Charming. While Cinderella's mother has really only been explored in the 2015 version of Cinderella, her father has been looked at a bit more. According to Disney Villains' The Top Secret Files, Cinderella's father was referred to as Lord Tremaine, meaning Cinderella's last name would also be Tremaine. This makes sense because in the old days, a new bride and her children would often take the last name of the husband. However, this information is conflicted in the 2015 Cinderella since Lady Tremaine's first husband is referred to as Sir Francis Tremaine. So in conclusion, we have no clue what his name is. In Disney's animated 1950s film, Cinderella's father was a nobleman. In the 2015 version, as a reference to the Brothers Grimm version of the story, Cinderella's father is a merchant. Regardless of the occupation, Cinderella's father puts in the work to create a comfortable lifestyle for his family. He loved his family dearly and often brought gifts from his trips abroad for his daughter. He loved his only daughter and wife and lavished every imaginable care onto them. His grand chateau attests to his great wealth and luxury he hopes that his daughter would be able to inherit.
He was a kind and devoted father and gave his beloved child every luxury and comfort.
But no matter how much he loved his daughter, he still felt that she deserved a mother's touch, so he remarried. Cinderella's father had the best intentions marrying Lady Tremaine, but Cinderella's situation only worsens with her presence. In Charles Perrault's original story, Cinderella bears the abuse of her stepfamily because if she would have revealed it to her father, he would have scolded her. He was entirely ruled by his new wife in that version. But in more recent editions, Ella's father doesn't seem to be under the control of Lady Tremaine, he just doesn't see her true intentions. In their final heart-to-heart together in the 2015 version, Cinderella's father attempts to explain that her family is trying, but she should remain kind. After admitting he misses his first wife and ventures off into the world, Ella's only comfort comes from his letters. Even as Cinderella's situation worsens, she always turns to her family for comfort. However, one afternoon, she gets terrible news. Her father had become ill on the journey and had passed away. Gosh, the story seems so depressing. Is there even a happy ending? Just a fair warning, this is an emotional story. Right, you gotta keep going. Get yourself together, Isaac. Till the end, he spoke only of Ella and her mother. And the farmer who delivered the news was told to bring an irrefutable testament of his love for her. Cinderella's father had told the farmer to bring the branch he had promised her. Both of Cinderella's parents kept their love for their daughter at the forefront of their minds, even at their dying breaths. Upon his untimely death, Lady Tremaine began to show her true colors. She tyrannically took over the chateau, and without his income, the fortune he had amassed was squandered.
The chateau fell into disrepair, for the family fortunes were squandered upon the vain and selfish stepsisters.
Both of Cinderella's parents left her too early, but she made it through. Although this story may be sad and tragic, after hundreds of years of Cinderella's story being told, I'm glad we finally have an explanation for who her parents were. What we can take from Cinderella's parents are that they truly loved her and taught her the lessons that were necessary to find her happy ending. So now it's time for the question of the day, sponsored by my patrons. Do you like the 1950s Cinderella, or do you prefer the 2015 version? I do really enjoy the original, but if I had to choose one that I would have to watch right now, I'd probably go the 2015 version. I know that's probably an unpopular opinion, but that's just kind of how I feel right now. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, along with any other ideas you have for future Discovering Disney episodes. If you enjoyed this video, then click that like button. If you'd like to stay up to date with new magical videos, then click that subscribe button and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And to see more Watso videos, then check out some awesome pics over there, including a fan theory about who Cinderella's descendants could have been. As always, thanks for watching, and have a magical day.